So a subscriber of mine sent me this story in the comment section of one of my videos where once again we have something strange under the guise of art, but this time it seems like people are no longer buying it. Because one thing that is shoved in our faces constantly lately are portals, gateways to other dimensions, and so forth. To many people, the idea of portals is nothing but fantasy, sci-fi, fiction, things like Stargate. But thanks to organizations like CERN, portals seem a little bit more real. Not only are we seeing the concept of portals a lot in our media and movies, TV shows, and games, but also we are seeing portals in real life under the guise of art. And you know what I have been saying about art. They are getting away with a lot of things. And when I say they, I'm talking about news, media, the powers that be, and certain organizations under the guise of art. When these celebrities, politicians, and high-profile people are called out for partaking in spirit cooking and bloodbaths, these very occultic rituals, they say it's just art. Companies like Balenciaga, which model children in very explicit ways, when they were called out, they said it's just art. The horrific opening and closing ceremonies of the Olympics, which clearly had a message, when they were called out, they said it's just art. So you can see where I'm going with this. So we have to be very careful what we accept as art. But anyway, like I said, a subscriber sent me this news story. Now I'm reading this article from Michigan Live. The title of this article happens to be, "A portal has appeared near the shores of Lake Michigan. See where it takes you." This article was published on August 16th, 2024. The portal, and that's what they're calling it, the portal, is a 45-foot circle of corten steel constructed by local artist Lee S. Brown. It weighs approximately 25,500 pounds. What is crazy is that this portal and other portals in Michigan, because this is not the only portal, but this portal in Muskegon cost $316,000 for the city. I can honestly think of better uses for that money, but this is how much they are spending for this portal art project. Also, check out the interesting numerology behind that price if you want to know where these stories are headed or who are behind these very bizarre symbols. Always check out the numerology behind these stories. The location is also where Sealed Power, very interesting choice, which began as the Piston Ring Company in 1911, built new headquarters in 1988 and changed the name of the company to SPX. I wouldn't doubt one bit that this location was some sort of ley line, because Michigan already has some interesting things going on, especially in Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, and so forth. Judy Haner, the individual who led the Portal initiative, said, "Portal represents the energy, unity, love, grit, and determination that makes Muskegon what it is today. A city proudly on the rise, creating a new chapter in the life of this great community." Haner continued, "It also celebrates our past as well as perhaps symbolizing that new future that is ahead of us through that portal." I am sorry for anybody that lives in Muskegon or Michigan period, because that is some rather eerie words at the end. This portal symbolizes a new future that is ahead of us through that portal. Who even says something like that? That sounds like something you would hear from an occultist from the movie Hellraiser. I am a Hellraiser fan. I absolutely love the Hellraiser movies. Hellraiser 2, Dr. Shanner, the villain of that movie, says the exact same thing about the box, which represents a portal. He says, "My new future is within this box." We all know what comes out that box. Explorers from other dimensions. Demons to some, angels to others. But who knows exactly what Judy Haner meant? It's just an eerie choice of words for something that's just art. Also, when I think of unity, love, grit, determination, the last thing I think about is a portal. So people who are subscribed to me or are in the comment section of my videos and you're from Muskegon, does the portal represent Muskegon? Now, I know some people may be saying, "Minutes of Horror, you always find everything strange. You always find everything bizarre. Can't you just see this as a beautiful piece of art? Stop trying to take something and run with it." And you know what? Maybe I am. Maybe I am making a big deal about another reference to another portal, this time being built in Michigan. So I go to Michigan Live's YouTube page because they published a video on August 29th, 2024 titled, a closer look at Muskegon's portal sculpture. This video has 2,489 views, but it only has 21 likes. So I go to the comment section of this video and it says, "Nah, I'll pass. Nope, this is stupid. A portal, really? Was it Freemason funded by chance?" And people are replying, "Got bad vibes the moment I saw it. Me too, it's very odd." So it's not just me. You can tell by the view to like ratio that people do not like this sculpture. You can also read in the comment section of this video that people find this to be rather odd. Now, as I was looking up Muskegon's portal video, I found another rather interesting video involving Muskegon, another sculpture, and Judy Haner.
And the idea for this sculpture at Heritage Landing started 2 years ago as we started to look for sites and ideas for our second project. When Heritage Landing was developed and this structure was placed here, it was intended for a sculpture. Here we are, and it's called A City Built on Timber.
The lumber industry really helped the city transcend to the future. The cube that sits up top is inspired by like a map or a topographical view of a city, and so you can see streets and buildings and things within the cube, and that cube is being raised by the timber in the air, sort of showing the future of the city.
The Community Foundation hands the deed to this beautiful piece of art to the county for their ownership and stewardship and care.
I find it funny, we were talking about Hellraiser earlier in this video, and come to find out Judy Haner is involved in another sculpture in the shape of a cube. They are not very convincing when they are explaining to the public why they chose this sculpture or the shape of the cube. They are saying this is a map of the city, but this does not look like any map to me. But I do find their choice in the cube to be rather interesting. This also goes hand in hand with the portal, and this may also point to the fact that these people are indeed occultists. You will find that the cube is worshipped around the world. You will also find that the cube is built in many different locations, and you will see the cube in front of many different organizations. The cube is said to be a representation of Saturn. The Saturn black cube is derived from the shape one can superimpose upon an image of the hexagonal storm that rages continuously on Saturn's North Pole. This sculpture in Muskegon, of course, is not black, it's still a cube, but it's still a rather interesting choice given the fact that these are the same people that are putting up portals around Muskegon. The portals could also be a representation of the rings of Saturn. It is also believed that Saturnalia, Saturn worship, is nothing more than worship of Satan or Abaddon. Saturn is referred to a black star in ancient beliefs. A dead star would be denoting the Black Sun agenda, the black star Abaddon the Destroyer, which has its connection to the black cube matrix in the core of the planet Saturn. So I find it rather interesting we go from quote-unquote art portals being erected in Muskegon to now Saturnalia worship and occultism with just another click of a button, doing a deeper dive into these people and other sculptures they erected in Muskegon. These portals, which are basically rings, and this cube, Muskegon also has some other interesting ringed artwork. Take this one here. How many rings do you count? You count 7 rings. The 7 rings of Saturn. It cannot be a coincidence. We can also connect this to CERN and the Olympics. What does CERN sit on top of? It is said that CERN sits on top of the Temple of Apollo, which is basically Abaddon the Destroyer. The Abyss, once again said to connect to Saturn. CERN's Large Hadron Collider looks like a portal. It looks like rings. The closing ceremony of the Olympics, where you had these people dressed up as gray entities surrounding another ring or a portal. Then we had this golden Voyager come out of the portal, and inside the portal we have this individual who is singing the hymn to Apollo, which again is nothing more than Abaddon the Destroyer. It is very easy to connect the dots back to Saturnalia, Saturn worship, occultism. When they say, it's just art, bro, it's just a glitch, bro, all one needs to do is connect the dots. Saturn is also very important to the Kabbalah. Saturn is associated with the third sphere of Benai, which represents understanding and the feminine aspect of God. In Kabbalistic thought, the myth of Saturn represents the importance of balancing God's masculine and feminine aspects and the need to integrate the limitations and structures of the physical world with the limitless potential of the spiritual realm. It also emphasizes the idea of spiritual discipline and the importance of submitting oneself to a higher power to achieve true understanding and enlightenment. When I read this and it's connected to Saturn, and I read that this is the balancing of God's masculine and feminine aspects, I instantly think of the Baphomet, which is both male and female. You can definitely go deeper into this. There's a whole rabbit hole you can explore. Maybe I'll definitely make a video about this one day touching this topic. The Free People Society also takes heavy inspiration of the Kabbalah. Saturn is also very important to the Free People Society, and as you go higher up, once you hit those certain degrees, 32nd, 33rd, and so forth, those draconic degrees that are even higher than the 33rd degree, then you will learn that Lucifer is the one true God in the Free People Society. A lot of these city directors and city officials are linked to the Free People Society, women as well. Women belong to a certain sect called the Order of the Eastern Star. Now, I'm not saying that Judy Haner is in the Order of the Eastern Star or connected to the Free People Society. I'm just saying I would be very hard pressed to find a city official or somebody that is connected to the city not in one of these orders. This is indeed very strange quote-unquote artwork for the city, but if you know, you know, and you know where this all leads to. But in any case, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.